Ever since the beginning of the year, at the Sunday Eucharist, we have heard the proclamation of the good news according to St. Mark, Mark's Gospel. But today we switch to John's Gospel, and we'll do so for the next 5 weeks in reading just one chapter of John's Gospel. John wrote his Gospel 60 or 70 years after the others had written theirs. And we might ask ourselves, well, why did he wait so long? And I think today's reading in the beginning of this 6th chapter may explain that. After all, the Christian community had been gathering every Sunday for 60 or 70 years and doing what Jesus had said, "Do this in remembrance of me." They had taken the bread and the wine and received it as the body and blood of the Lord. But we all know that anything we do continuously can become ritualized. We can do it almost without thinking about it. And that includes even our Sunday worship. So perhaps John was writing his gospel to make sure that the Christians kept in central focus what Jesus had commanded them when he said, "Take and eat, this is my body, this is my blood." John has 2 places where he explains the Eucharist to us. The 6th chapter, which we're reading now, and his account of the Last Supper. But it's interesting, in John's account of the Last Supper, he does not even mention body and blood, bread and wine. It was as if it never happened as far as John was concerned. But of course he knew that the other 3 Gospels had explained Jesus' command and Jesus' action with bread and wine. What John has Jesus do is to take off his garment and kneel down and wash the dirty feet of all the disciples who were with him at the Last Supper. The message of these 2 readings of John about the Eucharist is clear. The one has Jesus serving others in a very menial way, and the other begins his teaching by Jesus taking care of the needs of many disciples who were hungry by feeding them. The message from John is this, that Holy Communion, the celebration of the Eucharist, is not a personal intimacy with Jesus, but it involves all the needs of all the peoples that we encounter. Whenever Jesus encountered anyone in need, he took care of their needs. And the Eucharist demands that of us as well, because it is a continuation of the serving life of Jesus down through the ages by his brothers and sisters, by the members of his body, which we are. So our going to Holy Communion week by week demands of us, if we're being honest to the Lord, in the days which are sandwiched between our celebrations of the Eucharist, Sunday by Sunday, what we do in those intervening days is to serve the needs of others, whoever they are, wherever they are, and whatever their needs. This is the message of the gospel. This is the mission of Jesus, because it displays the concern and loving care that his Father has for all of us. So as we continue to celebrate the Eucharist, let us go more deeply and deeply into what it implies: service of others without counting the cost.